Guys, it finally happened. They got him. And Rhaenyra, baby girl, what is you doing? We're discussing everything on House of the Dragon episode 6 on a brand new episode of Unbinged starting now. Welcome to Unbinged, the podcast discussing all the things that you love to binge. My name's Jagger, and that's Matt Kopfhamer. Alfredo is still traveling. I just got back from a 14-hour drive. And Koff's here. He's like Mr. Reliable. This was a crazy episode compared to what we have. But before we go, give us a spoiler warning.
This is your one and only spoiler warning for House of the Dragon and all things Game of Thrones.
Yeah, now we're going to jump into it. Yeah, I was trying to spoil it in the beginning. Like, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. That's just what I do. We got him. Criston Cunnilingus Cole is gone. in the most himself. Yeah, rubbing up on Alicent's little handkerchief. He's just like, oh, I'm gonna die in glory.
You know that hanky was crusty and discolored for sure. His campaign was long and hard, if you know what I mean. So I both enjoyed that scene and did not enjoy that scene because they changed a very key element from the book. So the scene is very similar to the book. The ambush is something for the show. I thought that was brilliantly executed. He goes the parlay right. And he goes the parlay. He parlays with 3 people from the other camp instead of 2. Very similar things happen. They're talking back and forth. He asks for his men to be forgiven. They give him the bones line. He asks for a 3-on-1 because he's meeting with 3 of them. They say no. Instead, they shoot him with arrows from archers up in the hill. So very similar. What they're missing is in the books, as he's getting peppered with those arrows, Boromir style, they say, we don't want you to have any songs written about how you bravely died, Sir Criston the Kingmaker. Like, they're basically like spitting on all his honor, and like his final days were spent talking about how he wants to go out in a blaze of glory, and they are denying him that at the end as the biggest fuck you that you can, because he is responsible for the death of thousands of innocent people. So this is their way of getting back at him and denying him that last moment of I am the realm's greatest warrior bullshit.
Yes, that's
so.
Like, to me,
I like that he died. I wish they had just thrown that line in there. That's all. Ugh.
Yeah, emphasize it. Like, why would you leave that out? Because it's just like the irony of like, dude, everyone knows. Because to me, you were known throughout all the 7 kingdoms as being a giant cunt. Like, to me, everyone knows you're a giant cunt because they're like, I know that motherfucker's over there. Like, I want to die like a hero. No, like, without even them hearing him run his mouth for however long they were walking around in fucking mud, taking L's. They just know, like, I know Criston Cunnilingus Cole's over there running that tongue of his the wrong way, like he always does. And I'm going to personally deny him what I know he wants. And it's not even just him. Most people, most knights would want to die honorably like that, Yeah. But the extra layer that he's just a pompous little bitch would have been an excellent, I think, like exclamation point on it. With that being said, I'm still happy you got it. I'm still
yeah. Oh, of course. I'm glad he got shot in the fucking face with that arrow. That was fantastic. Good on Black Alley for shooting him right in the fucking head. But again, they just needed. I wish they had just given that one little line. That one line really would have hit home. Like, because normally the Rivermen and the Northmen are considered very honorable people, and like they're denying someone an honorable death, and they're kind of doing something shitty by ambushing him and shooting with arrows. But if they had given you the line of like, "Hey, fuck you, this is on purpose," like it would have hit harder. But that's just my gripe as a book reader. It's small details like that they change that in the grand scheme of things don't seem to really matter, but it changes the message just very slightly.
Yeah, and I'm curious too why it in the book. in the book he dies unceremoniously. That's the point. And I'm curious if they stuck it at the beginning to like double emphasize that, and why they didn't do that at the end, because at the end of episode 5, because I'm curious how that would play out if we saw all that epic talk and then it just ends kind of Soprano style after he gets shot up like that. I think it would have been beautiful, because this scene reminded me of the other guys, dude. Criston Cole is just like, you think what I'm thinking? Aim for the bushes, and then just dies immediately. Yeah, to me together. Bushes. Yeah, it would have been together, but I will say, I don't know if they thought it like this. Like, yeah, if we just thought at the beginning, like, we're as writers shitting on Criston Cole too. It's like this was just a throw in shit. This was borderline an Office cold open, essentially. A little bit.
Yeah. And yeah, it's surprising that they were. It is surprising they didn't add it as a bookend to last episode. It's interesting that they did it this way. But you're right. It almost makes it feel like it was almost like a throwaway thing. It's like, hey, oh, that's right. We got to get rid of this fuckhead. So here you go. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting pacing choice.
And I think, too, it's, like you and I know that we knew this was going to happen. Like, it's not going to be epic at all. And let us know in the comments if you did know that this is the way he was going to go out. Were you ready for this epic battle? And then they came out with like how did this do for you guys? Because this is where I wish I had Alfredo in now, because to get his natural reaction on how that death went. Because for me, I could see why you would put it, like you said, bookend it. That's what I would do. But I do kind of understand the tongue-in-cheekness of, like, we're giving you an Office cold open. Like, you're going to die, and we're going to move on and never talk about it again. And then, besides that, I don't know what exciting things happened in this episode besides what happened with Ormund and Gwaine. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But before we go, make sure to hit the like, subscribe button. And if you're on your mobile device, hit the hype. More importantly, you guys, especially on Apple, give us those 5-star reviews on audio. They are incredibly helpful. We're going to continue to cover House of the Dragon. Of course, we have Silo coming up right now. Tuesday, no premium episode. Me and Alfredo, our day jobs got in the way, so we were traveling. I have not slept, guys, all weekend, essentially. So I need to sleep. Alfredo needs sleep, but we'll be back with some new stuff next week. We also got a lot of shows coming up because we got to cover the end of X-Men 97. We're slow right now, but we're about to pick up. So make sure to like, subscribe, and make sure to join premium, because normally on Tuesdays we have certain things. And I'm going to tell you guys straight up, Apple is doing some bullshit with us where we have 2 shows dropping in one day. Whatever you guys are watching the most, that will be for free. We're going to try to cover as much as possible, but because those are going to release on the same day, one of them is going to go on premium. And, you guys watch us enough that I just run my mouth and be honest with you. It's because the algorithm, if you release 2 things at once, it hurts you. So we want whatever you guys want to watch, flock to it. If you guys watch both, fuck it. We'll put both ahead of them. This is on you. I think I paid all the bills, cough. I want to talk about Ormond. We were talking a little bit pre-show, always. Man. Yeah, we were talking pre-show, man. Literally, you could tell his entire story strictly with It's Always Sunny gifts. Like strictly with memes. Because we're joking, like, homie went from I am a golden god to D on stage for stand up going like so fast. Acted like a bitch. And shout out to Gwaine. Gwaine got disrespected. Literally, I think like Gwaine showed up and he's just like, bro, I just listened to Criston Cole for like 6 months. Like, shut up. I'm done with this shit. I want to go home. And then after he sees some shit, he's just done. He's like, fuck this. I'm going to kill him. I went from hating Gwaine to like, I kind of fuck with him. Just a little bit. Sympathizing with him.
Yeah. Because you put him... Honestly, when you meet Gwaine, you're like, in season 2, like, oh, this pompous little twink, like, he seems like an asshole. But then you get him a whole season with Criston Cole, and you're like, oh, I feel for this guy, like he's next to this fatalistic asshole. And then you put him next to Ormond, who is his own sort of crazy, and you're like, oh Jesus, Gwaine was just never given an opportunity. Like he's kind of been fucked the whole time. And it was hilarious to watch Ormond just lay into Gawain and basically like calling him, basically calling him
You
gay,
ain't
calling him a
shit.
coward. Yeah. He's like, you ran away from the fight. He's like, what fight? It was literally a slaughter. And then he's like, and you and your men having a good time. So to see that and to have the opportunity to have Ormond get assassinated, granted, you probably would have died in the attempt too. But what was interesting is seeing Gawain's love for his nephew in Darren outweigh his hatred for his cousin Ormond. And to see him step up and save them in that moment, it really goes to show his character and that he actually is like a decent human being at the end of the day, that his love for a loved one outweighs his hatred for a different loved one.
The Hightowers in general, I'm starting to feel bad for it. Like even Allison, I already was feeling bad for her. Even season 2, I could almost see how she's the way that she was because her dad built the house that she's in, quite literally and figuratively, but Gawain, like you said, he comes off as an asshole, but then you realize you lived with Ormond. Holy fuck. You're actually kind of well adjusted, like homie was acting like a cunt. Yeah. Homie was acting like a little bitch because that was survival. To me, he had to act like that to fit in the family that he was in. And the word that you use there, his love for his nephew, that was actual love where you saw Darren. This is the first time we see Darren act for real. And I didn't even know, I didn't know what kind of man Darren is. Like, obviously he had some reservations about killing randomly and whatnot, the use of his dragons, but I didn't know if it was reservations to the point where you're at that tipping point where I can be this way or I can be this way, when really he's just always been good. And just like Gawain, homie's just trying to survive. And he probably learned that from Gawain. He's just like, buddy, you got to thug this shit out. He's head of the house right now and do what you can to survive. Good luck. Yeah, exactly. So if you want to think of it, maybe Ormond, I don't need a show, maybe like a 45-minute episode. I want to know the history of the Hightowers, man. It just seems like they have, yeah, man. Like you got that Lannister in them, like that like the original Lannister, where like I'm gonna treat my kids shittily. I'm gonna make a line of shitty people all the way down. It's just, I find it very fascinating.
What's really funny is in front of Gawain too, Darren asks about when you pick a hand and shit. And Ormond, without missing a beat, sits there and talks shit about Otto Hightower, who is his uncle, but who is Gawain's father. Like right in front of Gawain. She's like, you ain't shit, your daddy ain't shit. Meanwhile, he's got Corlys. He's like, Corlys is a great man.
It's nuts because say what you want about Otto, motherfucker, it did great things. To quote Harry Potter, terrible, but great.
He is who Otto Hightower is who Tywin Lannister thinks he is. Like when it comes down to it, that level of like planning ahead and deviousness. Like Otto did the shit. He got his grandson on the throne. It just kind of fell apart afterwards because he got fucked over. But that's not on him.
And realistically, Otto only made one mistake, and that it was a massive fucking mistake. I'm not downplaying. It's just like he only made the one mistake. He killed a family. That's actually he did if you really think about it. But it was a massive mistake. But really, he served the realm for the most part. He kept shit together for Viserys. He was a good hand to Viserys for the most part up until it came to the succession thing, and then he's just like. I felt like him and Corlys are two sides of the same coin where he's just like, man, I've been paying my dues for 3 kings now. Get my grandkid up there. Let me have this one, dog. And then he pushed that up there to a point to where we have the calamity that we are now. And he was smart enough to realize he made a mistake when it was too late. I'm not trying to say that Otto was a good person, but again, I want to say that Ormond disrespecting Otto is just crazy. And I think this episode really showed us that Ormond at the end of the day ain't shit, bro. He really ain't shit. Right. Quite literally. Like he fought like a bitch. He orders people around. You can run up to him right now, fart and punch that nigga in the face, and that probably win you know?
Game over, man.
Game over, dude.
When he is at the table, just minutes after talking about how Rhaenyra, being a woman and being squeamish, can't hold the throne and can't stomach the thought of hurting her own people, he then sees somebody die in front of him, smells them, and then pukes in front of everyone. Fantastic storytelling. Like, that is amazing. Yeah. I laughed my ass off
irony
when that happened. Yeah.
To give credit to the writers where it's due, even that George R. R. Martin fits the theme. You know how much George loves irony. That is fucking irony right there. Like, quite literally, you could be Ormond Hightower 101 with the defense fart. Just the defense shit. Like, you shit your pants on Ormond Hightower, like, that is checkmate, buddy. Yes, checkmate. I have zero sword fighting experience. I'd run up on Ormond, no armor, shit my pants, bop, bop, bop. Like, like, work that out.
Literal get out of free jail card. Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what's funny is they foreshadowed it earlier with the one of the first scenes of the episode with
when you see
Daemon sitting there. Well, not just that, but Daemon talking shit to Lord Manderly, talking about how the only fight you have ever been in was with indigestion, and then we get to Ormond then later in the scene having his own battle with indigestion.
Which that is a good segue because Rhaenyra's fucking this up, man. You're blowing it. You're blowing it, baby girl. You're blowing it so bad. It is.
The scene of her at the petitioners with the court?
Yeah, dude. That was that was rough, man.
When she gave the thoughts and prayers answer?
She gave thoughts and prayers, dude. I would light a candle in the sept. It's like, whoops. Damn. Then you dip out on
one
there.
One of our girls got stolen. Well, sorry. Like, Jesus, man.
Yeah, she hit him with the that's tough.
But that's life.
Say what you want about Ormond, he is at least smart at playing. That's how you could tell the difference between court people who are good at playing the court and people who are good at playing the battlefield. Ormond's good at playing the court. He did real good at fucking shit up. To be fair, Corlys, he needs to be there. He's the adult in the room, and he's not. You got young Buck who's doing his best. Adam, who we're going to talk about, or excuse me, Alan, who we're going to talk about. Yeah, a little bit later. Shout out to the Targaryens, keeping up tradition. And then you got Manderly, who we know probably up to some fuck shit. He's just not honest. Let's just say that he's not honest. Is he a new addition of the show that we don't know in the books? Yes, but I just know he's up to some fuckery. We know Daemon is Mr. I will have satisfaction. Shout out to him to ride or die for his homies, but, they even felt bad. They're like, I can go back to Crippin, man, and make more money.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, it's like I go back to thugging, dude. Like, this is like the streets pay money, bro.
I mean, when the guy was like, look, I was willing to take not getting paid because, I got some loyalty, but when it comes to my children not having any money, not having any food, and if I die not having any daddy, like, that's when things get tough. And it's like, all right, that's fair enough. I get that. So I get what Damon's at, where he's upset and he's like, you're cowards and blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, it's like, look, you're not even paying these people. How do you expect them to stay on the payroll if there's no fucking payroll?
That's what I'm saying, man. Like I literally can go out thugging, same dangers, and make money. Like the streets.
Where did all the money that they got the 10,000 gold from Lady Jane in the in the Eyrie, and then they got the money from the lords that they basically robbed. Like, where did that money go if you're not paying it to the gold cloaks and the city watch?
They fed the people.
To the people.
They fed the people. Like, she gave,
because the people are still bitching.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can feed them, but that's not going to stop hoarding. That's not going to stop the crime. That's the major problem. Is like they didn't even have enough gold cloaks. So it's like, cool, you threw food in the middle of hungry people with zero law and order. That's like you kind of Squid Games them. On top of that, it's just a giant shit show that Rhaenyra's sitting on, and there's no one with any amount of sense. And then even I'm tired of Corliss's bitch ass too, man. Like, thank God for Alan too for setting him straight. Yeah, well, he got kidnapped. He got napped. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay, so we're on the same page. He didn't die, right? Because they left it kind of ambiguous. So it's like, oh, he might have died. It's like, he fucking better not have. I mean, he's got important shit to do still. But the scene with him and Alan was fantastic. Finally getting when he finally is bitching about Rhaenyra, and Alan's like, "What are you talking about? You know, she's had this decision, and it's taken her a little bit of time to make this decision. You had like 20 fucking years, and you didn't make the decision. So how can you talk? Like,
yeah,
you being a deadbeat, and now you're mad at somebody else is calling you on your shit. Like, you can't really do that."
100%. It's like, I'm actually your kid, dude, and you were a straight dick for all my life. Rhaenyra is actually the one decision that she's taking slowly, albeit I think it's still wrong, to not legitimize one of his kids. That's the one thing she's trying to think through at all. The rest, to be fair, it's not that she's not trying to think through. She's had zero training or experience. She's just, I don't mean to be shitty, she's been a baby factory for all of her life. Quite literally. It's like a thing. Like, book accurate, Rhaenyra is thick. You know, just because she just stayed pregnant forever. You know, that's all she's learned how to do is make heirs.
Yeah. She was never really given the diplomatic training she needed to be a good ruler, a good and just ruler. So every decision she makes is rash because that's basically how she was raised. She was raised to be a rash person and a little bit bratty. So when you get these scenes with the petitioners who are giving her a little bit of attitude and she gets shitty with them, and then just kind of storms out, it's like, no, that's well within her character, and that's well within the established character of who she is. Like, she's hot-tempered, and if things don't go her way, like, you're not going to get your way either. Like, so it's, if anyone complains about this characterization, I don't know, this is the most book accurate part of the show, it feels like.
Yeah, and
there's a reason she gets nicknamed Rhaenyra the Cruel eventually in the war.
Yeah, and guys, we keep saying it, this doesn't end well for everyone, and this was a depressing episode. It's very depressing and grim, and I even, in my head, I was like, damn, I don't like this. Fucking not sucks as in the story, but like it's like you're showing up to a party and the party's accidentally a funeral. Yeah, the situation sucks. Alice sucks. Criston not having a good time. Gwaine not having a good time. Aemon, I don't care about his storyline. We can talk about that in a minute. But basically, everyone's sad, and that's what happens. That's what happened to the Targaryens. They're literally eating themselves, and that's what's crazy, dude. That's what's nuts. They were eating themselves with the division of the blacks and the greens, and now we're seeing the greens rip each other apart and the blacks rip each other apart. This disintegration is just some bonkers shit, you know?
But that's the thing about the Targaryens is when you have that much power within such a small group, the only real thing that can threaten them is from within. Because once you have dragons into the mix, nobody else can really stand against you. They have to hope that you tear yourself apart, and that weakens you overall. And that's eventually what happens. And you see the ripple effect after the Civil War when you have dragons dying left and right. Eventually there are no more dragons. And then that leads the way to something like Robert's Rebellion, where the Targaryens can be usurped by a different house.
Yeah, and it's the whole psychology of it. We see this with every house, you know. It's just the nature of having a lord system, the feudal word system. I'm looking for, feudal system, whatever you want to call it, because it's not just having a king, a monarchy, whatever, but like being a lord in general. where you see this with the hightowers, like we just saw. We saw this with the Lannisters and the Targaryens, that the strength of your house is just this constant thing, and you're either in a good spot where you're hungry, hungry, hungry hippo, or you're in the low spot where you're hungry, hungry, hungry hippo, and there's like no in between here. Dare I say capitalism, where at the top, to stay at the top, you have to keep eating big and being a piece of shit. And at the bottom, you have to kind of be a piece of shit just to get anywhere close to the top.
Just to get by.
And yeah, my point is saying is like the Targaryens have been the head honcho this whole time. And then they slip in a little bit. And now we're seeing all these other houses attack them. And then they're pulled down to the same level as everyone else, especially when you take away the dragons, where you're playing this petty bullshit and they become these tyrants to maintain this legitimacy. Because at the end of the day, the real problem is because you were squirted into someone's belly and then onto a throne does not mean that you should rule everyone. That's what's wrong with everything, but we already know that.
But God said the royal penis gave the royal heir legitimacy. That's how it works.
Yeah. Cersei, Baelor the Blessed, who's not been born yet, but
exactly. Oh man! But speaking of there was an interesting line from Ormund where the Baratheons come in, and it's before they reveal that they're assassins. He's speaking about how the Stormlords are on our side. High Garden will have to follow, and for anyone that didn't understand what that means, so the Hightowers are a old, large, very rich, very powerful family, but they are still underneath a Lord Paramount, which is the Tyrells, who are like in the Game of Thrones universe. It's like Marjorie, Mace.
They grow the food.
Them.
Let's put it that way.
Right. So they are the leaders of the Reach, which is like one of the largest, most rich, most food abundant kingdoms in the entire region and in the entire Seven Kingdoms. So for Ormond, he is making a gamble that eventually he'll have enough petty lords on his side that the big lords will also follow. And eventually, if you get enough big lords on your side, you can then really threaten the crown's power. And that's why he's doing a double-pronged attack. He's hoping to get the lords on his side, but he's also doing the traitors campaign in King's Landing to try to destabilize Rhaenyra's rule from within. Because if he can get the people to overthrow the crown, then the lords will have no choice but to follow him and Darren. That's why his plan's so insidious.
Yeah, and that's why, to bring it back, I want to talk about Corlys. So I think he's kidnapped because, we heard him talk about, it's like, Corlys, he's a real motherfucker, that's the only good decision she's made. He respects him. And there's a reason why he's the entire fucking navy of everybody. Even the Greens don't have a navy. That's why they had to get the Triarchy. And you know what? Anytime Corlys has a bad day, he's like, I'm gonna whip that Triarchy's ass. And that's what he did. He beat him back down again. So now again they go back to not having a navy. I think he's gonna kidnap him and say, "Hey man, you want to make your son legitimate? Give me your army. You tired of Rhaenyra? I think he's going to offer him the stick and the carrot at the same time via kidnapping, because what benefit does the realm have to lose Corlys? That's something right. I think they need to consider. He's good for the realm, not just for Rhaenyra, so.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, Ormond isn't just like an agent of chaos. He isn't just doing shit to do shit. He's being very deliberate and very targeted in his actions. So when he does something, he's doing it to try to destabilize Rhaenyra. He's trying to make sure that the people are against her. So like you said, what would be the benefit of killing Corlys other than to throw Rhaenyra's small council into further turmoil? But really, if you can, he's a bigger chess piece and he's more powerful on your side than he is dead. Because if you can flip him, like you said, not only do you gain a navy, but then you also are crippling your enemy's small council, her economy. Like, she leans on Corlys and on the Valerians for so much that if he can pull that support from underneath her, almost her entire legitimacy at this point collapses with that. So it would be a masterstroke by Ormund to get Corlys on his side. And Rhaenyra better pray that Corlys is more loyal and strong than she has any right to hope for.
Mm-hmm. Which we could talk briefly. One way to legitimacy is marrying a Targaryen. Hey, our sweet Baela and Alan shared a kiss. That's messy, bro. That's messy because you got Adam. That's just like, hey, let's ride dragons together.
It is interesting that Baela's the one that initiated this interaction, because Alan is like, hey, can you go talk to Grandpa and see if you can make him not sad anymore, because he's kind of depressing right now. She's like, man, I'm horny. And he's like, what? And it's crazy because Jace died like 5 fucking seconds ago, and she's already like, all right, on to the next cousin, uncle, brother thing. Uncle at this point.
Yeah, what is the timeline? Like, legitimately, the timeline, because we know how Game of Thrones does it.
It's been less than like a month. It's been maybe a week or two since Jace died. It's been very short.
Okay, because you never know, because it's like they don't show them walking forever. Because I was curious too. It's like, how long did Gwaine and Criston actually like hang out? Like I think even one hike with Criston Cole is too long. Let alone you're going on a whole ass campaign.
You're to the top of the hill. You're like, God, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, if I was hiking a mountain with him, I'd have to like not yeet myself off.
I would push that fucker off the mountain and be like, goodbye.
Yeah. Because that's like, I'm curious too about like, now I'm not even trying to jump over the place, but we got these little fires that have happened. Baela and Alan, that actually just doesn't matter in the consequences thing, at the grand scheme of things. If they want to fuck, whatever, I don't really care. Do what you want to do. Aemon and Alice, what motives are here? And are those the eggs that end up Daenerys' eggs? No.
So
are those the ones that Rhaena had?
Mm-hmm. No. So Dreamfire is the dragon that's speculated to have laid the clutch of eggs that eventually become Daenerys' dragons. But the 3 eggs that Rhaenyra, that Daenerys eventually ends up with, are from Dreamfire at a different time period. Like, she lays those eggs in King's Landing, I want to say, and at the time, the dragon rider Rhaena, she had like a girlfriend named what was her name? Melissa Fossaway or something like that, who eventually steals them and uses them to get to Essos and like pay for her lifestyle there. And that's how they end up in Essos and eventually get in the hands of Valerian Naparis, and he's the one that gives them to Daenerys. So Dreamfire did lay them, but they're not these clutch of 5 eggs. Now there's a time period where Rhaena, at the end of her life, the last 15 years or so, she goes and like lives in Harrenhal. So Dreamfire is there for a good period of time. So it's entirely possible that she had at least one clutch, if not multiple, at Harrenhal. But these eggs in particular are a creation of the show as like this is a potential thing that happened.
Interesting. Yeah, because I mean, it'd be cool to have those eggs. Even if they hatch tomorrow, they're going to be inconsequential to the war. So if
dragons,
yeah. So if anything, I'm like, cool, this is awesome. I'm going to stash these away.
It's interesting that Alice is using, the 2 things that seem to be Aemon's driving factor, which is, legacy, the promise of having sons and princes of his own, and dragon power. Like, he has the biggest, most powerful dragon, and she's now promising him more dragons. So she is being very seductive with how she's tempting him, and it's really smart. And I wonder if So she is a witch. I wonder if there's some sort of magic or glamour going on where these are just fucking rocks that she's making look like dragon eggs and trying to trick him into. Because I think there's a hint that there may be some blood magic going on, or that she wants to perform some blood magic. Because when she like wipes her hand on the egg and then she like leaves the trail of blood, it's like, oh, it's warm. And then she mentions princes and prince's blood. So
There's
I'm
power
wondering
in
if she's going
King's
to try to.
blood.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder if she's gonna pull Melisandre and like try to drain this motherfucker to get some of her own magic.
It wouldn't surprise me. I need her to matter, man. She's getting a lot of screen time, a lot of playing time. That it has to be consequential. And for spoilers, non-spoiler spoilers, if you're a book reader, if you know how it ends for Aemon, I wonder if this is involved somehow that we're seeing it. Like I wonder if this is a part of his fate, or I'm just having a hard time seeing why she matters so much. Is what I'm saying. It's like it's interesting. Anytime you bring in more dragons, cool, but like I don't. It's like Chekhov's gun, like what are these eggs? And I think I lean more at what you said is like that. It's probably blood magic, if anything. And what kind of shit is she pulling a trick on him? Because I have a hard time thinking that, well, no one's defended me before. Here we go. She don't seem like that kind of woman, I'm sure someone has done something honorable before. I know Harrenhal's pretty bad, but I just don't think it's hard for her to find a man to be impressive for her. I guess none of them have been a prince who has a claim to the throne either.
Well, I wonder if it's also more of a like, oh, I've never done this before kind of thing, where she's clearly lying just to like, get him excited. Because she's throwing like a full court press on him to get him in bed. It seems like she is very much not so much impressed with him, but she knows that he has power within his blood, and so she's doing everything she can to get him under her power. And we even see it when Helena is talking to Alicent in one of their scenes together. She's sewing something like a blanket or a tapestry, and it shows Aemond naked, like in the fetal position, surrounded by like, this aura of power. So even Helena is picking up on the fact that Alice is using her witchcraft to try to like seduce and enthrall Aemond for some nefarious purpose, and that's why she's so worried. Like that's one of the reasons she's so worried right now, because she actually does care about Aemond.
See, I didn't. Full disclosure, I wasn't driving. I was in a car and this was playing and watching it. I thought it was Helena showing herself being trapped. I didn't see it as Aemon.
It was because of if you looked at one of the eyes, it had the sapphire.
Oh, okay. I guess I missed that on there. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense then, because I just thought about the tapestry and this perfect segue to talk about that. I just took out like her sadness she was just trying to bring out in art, and it is nice to see that too little too late that Alicent listens to Helena, where she's like, hey, I know where Aemon's at, like she'd be saying some shit, it's true sometimes it's just like I want to look at the moon and then we end up getting captured and but we see that fracture within her relationship where it's like poor Helena, man. If anything, I feel like she would want to be imprisoned alone, away from her mom at this point. And do you think she can forgive Alicent? What can Alicent do to get forgiveness from her daughter at this point?
I don't think so. Once that trust is broken, it's like, look, all I care about is my daughter. Like, I get it. You care about me as your daughter, but I care about my daughter too. And for you to just so callously like want to throw her to the side, I don't know if you'll ever get that trust back and get that relationship fixed. What I found fascinating about this scene, talking about too little too late, is one of the real tragedies of the way that they were raised is the fact that Rhaenyra never really got to know her half siblings. So she never really got to know Aegon. She never got to grow up with or know Aemond, and she never got to know her sister Helena. And the fact that she was both surprised but accepting the fact that Helena is a dragon dreamer. And she hears it from Alicent and she says, oh, she's a dreamer. Like, if she had known that 15 years ago, who knows how much differently history could have, played differently if they had been able to grow up together and have that bond and that sisterhood. Who knows where Helena would be. And man, one of the tragedies of this episode is her talking about, like, why'd you marry me or my fuck ass brother instead of somebody else. So again, it just goes to, Viserys may have been a decent king, but he was a terrible father because he didn't do enough to keep his family from fracturing. And
that's literally
all of this messiness. God, it's sad.
I think House of the Dragon more so than Game of Thrones, the mainline series, but House of the Dragon, big underlying theme is just terrible parenting, just all around. Everyone is just a bad parent. Otto, bad parent. Viserys, bad parent in his own right, multiple times. I actually think Viserys might have been a good dad, but a bad king dad. Does that make sense? Like he loved, supported Rhaenyra, was cool with her being autonomy, but you are the king and you're going to be raising a future queen. So there's another layer of parenting there. But for the sake of this exercise, bad parenting. I talked about Ormund. I don't know who the fuck raised Ormund, but brother, you fumbled that one. That's one bad egg you got there.
Fucked up.
Fucked up majorly. Just absolutely shit the bed. Criston Cole, I think not great parenting. You can't say it was great, or maybe I honestly think Criston Cole probably had good parenting, and he's just a fuck ass, where his dad's like, be honorable, you need to, be chivalrous, and he took that to like how like some of these Christians take good things about religion and it just like radicalizes them. That's what Criston Cole happened. But for the most part, all of these major lords just fucking sucked. Speaking of sucks, man, I feel bad for Hugh Hammer. That whole situation sucks.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, his wife's not wrong. She told him straight up from the very beginning. It's like, I just need you here with me, like, supporting the family. Like, we'll be able to get over anything if you support me. He's like, well, yeah, but what if I can ride a dragon? And she's like, no, you don't need to do that. Just fucking stay here, be with me. And he goes off, gets his dragon, and then shows up however many months later after she probably thought he was dead. He's like, hey, guess what? I won a Cybertruck in a raffle. Isn't that cool? And she's like, no, you idiot.
Yeah. I won a Cybertruck in a raffle. It's like, you know what I would have loved? Not being raped multiple times, because, dude, that's what fucked me up. It's like, we saw the major one. Her being the way she is, just from the one that we saw, I understand, just from the one. Then she talked about, how long of a walk it is from King's Landing to wherever the like Tumbleton is. Too damn long, man. Rough. Too damn long. Yeah, that's just bonkers. And we don't even know now. Her brother's dead. What's been happening since he's been dead?
Right?
Because they basically got the free pass from old little King Ormond there. It really depressing. And with the exception of Adam, the Dragon Seeds got it rough, because Hull said, has your life actually gotten better? Ulf, whatever. Well, Ulf, your life Ulf's got a lot better.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's being a little bitch. Better.
He's just bitching because now he's been forced into AA, and he's like, come on, I'm not really an alcoholic. And they're like, no, man, you got fucking responsibilities. It's like, what do you mean?
I could quit when I want.
Get drunk. Exactly. Yeah. So it is interesting, though, that they keep reinforcing like how upset he is with his situation, and then he gets confronted by Daemon, and Daemon fucking slapped the shit out of Ulf. It was fucking great. Ulf's like, men need their simple pleasures. Something you should know about, my lord. Bah! Just beat the piss out of him. Fantastic,
dude. But Ulf, I tried to defend Ulf, man, but like every episode, I'm like, hit him again, dude. He is not learning. He fucking sucks, man. He sucks.
The problem is, he's the type of guy who will never learn but you gave him the keys to a fucking B-52 with a full payload, like a full nuclear arsenal on board. And so you can't quite rein that kind of power in once you've unleashed it. So, this is a classic case of, you handed a child a gun and then you're surprised when he shot someone with it.
Yeah, and that's this is how hood people work, man. Like, I don't care if you're Targaryen. I don't care if you're in Compton. It's hard to take the street out of people. And he's old, dude. It's not like a 20-year-old kid where you're like, hey, man, you can't be a YN anymore, But like this motherfucker is an old head. He's old. You can't take the street out of him. Yeah,
right. This is not 100%. A Sir Duncan the Tall where you grab him at 12 years old and you can reform him. No, this guy is in his 40s and is hard set in his ways. And those ways are not pretty.
He's like crippin' for life, buddy. He'll never stop crippin'. I feel like that's where he's at. He
feels like the type of guy where you take him out of prison after 30 years and he has no idea what to do on the outside. So all he knows how to do is crime.
Have you seen The Wire?
I've seen
Are you a person who's seen The Wire? Okay, well then never mind. I won't spoil it for you. But it's like that. Actually, I will spoil this. I won't say who it is. A dude climbs all the way to the top to where he dominates crime, gets all the way to where you're at the white collar crime where you're squeezing politicians level and a lot of your money's legitimate, and he can't handle it, so he goes back and immediately goes to a corner. Like literally leaves a meeting and then goes to a corner. That's what I feel like Ulf is, man. Where he's just like, man, give me a drink and send me back to the streets. It's just rough because you think that Rhaenyra got this huge win, where it's like, hell yeah, I got a team of dragons. It's like, no, I got a problem. I got a sad problem, and then I got Adam. I don't know what Adam is yet, but he's at least got a problem.
Right. At this point, you have one legitimate dragon rider, and then you have 2 liabilities on your hands. So I still can't believe that she sent Hugh to Tumbleton because, of course, he's going to try to get inside. Like, that's the first thing he's going to do. And he's lucky he didn't get fucking caught, because if he got caught, he would have been hanged. And then, there goes your dragon rider. And now Vermithor's on the fucking loose. And he's, the second biggest dragon in the fucking realm.
Yeah, is like Vhagar and Vermithor. I wonder if they're just like they're meeting up to like, yo, this is fucking nuts. These humans are dumb as hell. Because what are they doing? Both dragons just kind of dipped out, and the answer is they're dragons and they're wild and these kind of do what they want. But if there was like a side animated series like Star Trek Below Deck, I would love to hear these dragons talk to each other. Like especially our boy Big Sheep when he's out there, because like. Talk about Rhaena here. End it, Rhaena. End it. I don't know, man. I'm not saying kill yourself, but like you should go away. Go to Essos, fly off somewhere far, because you're not wanted. There's not anything for you to do. If you go back to Rhaenyra, I will say Rhaenyra might be so desperate she could forgive you, but I'm not sure. At this point, I think Rhaena is the line of where it's just one too many saddies for me, and I need that plot to kind of wrap up.
Yeah, it was kind of satisfying though to see Lady Jane slap her and be like, "What are you doing? Like, you saw Moon Dancer, so you're gonna go say hi to your sister?" Like, and once you do that, what then? Because now you're confirming that Sheepstealer has a rider still, who is alive. And that Damon lied for your ass. And like, come on, I get you're sad and you're lonely, but like, this is your own goddamn fault. Like, you wanted a dragon so bad, you threw everything else away. So you made your bed, lie in it. Stop being a little bitch about it.
Yeah, it's like it's on you, playa. I need something good to happen to somebody. I think that's where I'm at. I know it doesn't end good. I just need one episode of something good to happen. Anything? You got anything before we go?
Hang on. Let me double check my notes really quick. We talked about Oh, I mean, I guess the only thing we didn't really mention was Aegon, Thailand, and Laris are going to Essos. I guess that's really all we need to really talk about for that.
I actually forgot about that. I think homie knows he sucks.
To that. Yeah, that was pretty funny. He's like, you think I'm a terrible person? And fucking Thailand just hemming and hawing, be like, well, everybody kind of sucks at the end of the day.
He's like, I don't think you're good.
You're not the worst I've ever met.
Yeah, it's like I boarded a ship full of rapists, which you also are. He kind of is just the worst. So that
crazy.
I hope he gets a redemption arc.
Where do you think they're going with this? Because obviously reading the book, I know where Aegon ends up, but spoiler alerts, it seems like they're doing something different in the show, because
that's what I'm saying.
In the book, Sunfire's still alive. Like, Sunfire's not dead. So unless they're going to do a last minute reveal that Sunfire's not dead before they leave, like, I don't know what's happening right now. Unless you're going to, because the only thing I can think of is
Sunfire's going to pull the on your left. Like
maybe. But the other thing is, we still have, Rhaenyra has her son Joffrey back at King's Landing, but she's still missing her youngest two, Aegon and Viserys. So they're supposed to be, I think, still in Pentos and on their way back. So potentially, what I'm thinking is maybe we get the scene with Laris, with Aegon, and with Thailand at the docks waiting for the ship, and they see Viserys and Aegon the Younger come off the boat, and they use that as an opportunity to kidnap them, and maybe that's a way that they can get Aegon back to the cap. I don't know. Other than that, I'm not sure where they're going with the storyline.
Yeah, it's Laris I liked as a villain, and he's kind of just been sidelined. And like I said, we got Duncan Eggs Wario, which I don't mind, but to you, I'm like you, man. It doesn't feel like. It feels like they're building him up. But now if they're going to Essos, I don't know. But it felt like he would win over the people, or at least try to, and do the opposite of what Rhaenyra is doing. And then we get to where we go. But they're not doing that either. So I don't know. So let us know in the comments what you guys think. This has been very interesting. We talked about family. We talked about sexual assault. We talked about poop. A lot of things happened this episode. Rest in shit, Criston Cole. Love you guys. Hit the like, subscribe.
You will not be missed.
You will not be missed, motherfucker. I miss Fabian Frankel, but I will see him on another show. I'm sure.
Great actor. Great actor.
Yeah. Shit character. Yeah. I actually, you heard the Fabian Frankel interviews. Even he hates Criston Cole, bro. He's he's so ready to go. Love you guys. It's me, Jagger. That's Matt Kopfhamer. You just seen Unbinged. Love you guys, and we'll see you next time.